Hey, hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry about the delay. I had I wanted to dim the screen. I thought the lighting was really screwed up today. I can't tell you why, but I thought the lighting was really screwed up, and I'm so good at all this technical stuff that I pushed something to dim the screen and I wound up shutting off the touchpad thing. I think the technical term is the touchpad thing. So of course I panic and I reach out to Bobby in the studio and I'm like, well, I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what I'm doing. And I shut it off. I ran upstairs. I found a mouse in a box full of uh, just assorted crap. A lot of phone wires, a BlackBerry, um, all shit like that. A BlackBerry, Mattel Electronics football. So now I know what I'll be doing afterwards. I feel like I should either raise the screen or lower the camera. I'm giving away all the secrets, all the secrets of what goes on here. But lot of lot of stuff. Interesting week. And I did notice tonight it's not a full moon, it's almost a full moon, but not. So I guess the craziness will ensue on the weekend, just in time for Passover, Easter, all of that. Um, I had my physical today. I had my yearly physical. So it's something that you have to do. If God forbid there's something that's really wrong with you, this way at least, you have a fighting chance. So, my doctor and I know a couple of you people who are watching have the same doctor as me. He is not a ball of personality, um, but he's very good at what he does. Very good, very good. But he's very serious, and he also talks through the whole thing. So he's, you know has me on the scale, but he's talking about my medications and he's taking my blood pressure and he's asking me this and that. So he was checking my prostate and I said, what do you what ow, whoa, I think was what I actually said. And I said, Doc, do you do this exam to everyone? And he said, "And the medications, are you feeling depressed?" And I said, "You didn't answer my question. Do you do this to everyone?" And he said, "This is how I check. This is how doctors check the prostate. You didn't answer my question. Are you feeling depressed?" And I said, "Well, I wouldn't say depressed, but I'm a little sad. I mean, I thought this was special between us, and now you're telling me this is what you do with everyone." So, crickets, crickets with him. He I don't think he understood what I was saying. And if he did, I think he thinks I'm just a weirdo. So, which I might be a weirdo. I'm pretty sure I am a weirdo, but now the doc knows it. So hopefully you're not hearing noises while I move things around. I would like to sit back, but I notice there's a terrible glare behind me. I'm just going to keep shifting shit around, until I get where I wanna be. Look at all these chins. Oh, oh my god, that's a lot of chins. I collect them. So then the doctor's, like, asking me all those questions, "Are you sexually active?" And I'm thinking, "This guy's a tease, man. He's a tease." So, and I said to him I would expect lunch or dinner first. I don't think that, I'm not taking you upstairs. And again, he just looked at me like I had 3 heads. And then he says, "You have to stop masturbating." And I'm like, Excuse me?" And he says, "Well, I'm trying to give you your annual physical. You have to stop masturbating." So, I think that's hilarious. I wasn't really doing that, but I think that's hilarious. So, he constantly brings up, my parents and my health risks, and, he tells me, like, my weight is good and my, uh all my numbers are good, and I always am worried that he's gonna check my blood and it's gonna be like a bacon, egg, and cheese instead of whatever it should be, like platelets and whites and reds and whatever. Um, but he says to me, "All right, we'll get your results. Your hearing is terrible." I said, "I know. I uh, I've lost a ton of hearing." And he said, "Well, we got to work on that." I don't know. Okay, so I said, and that's usually my answer to him is okay, okay. And he always has a young med student, uh, usually very exotic looking or attractive, from another, I'm assuming from another country, although that's kind of racist because this country has everyone. So she could be from Seaford, Rockville Center. It doesn't, and I'm like, "Oh," but, but I always try to, like, chat it up with whoever the medical student is, and he's like, "We're working here." So I always say, "Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot, we're working here." He's like, "Well, we're working here." So, all the personality. But then when I go to leave, his wife is the office manager, and she says, "Everything okay?" And I said, "Well, now I know why you married him, those magic fingers." And she chuckled, an uncomfortable chuckle. And she said, "So when am I going to see you next?" And I said, "Between you and your husband, I'm not interested. Stop hitting on me." So again, she gave me the polite laugh and looked at me, like, leave the office. So in 6 months they'll check me out unless the numbers come back bad. Numbers come back bad, then they'll see me sooner. But go for your annual physical, um, and let your doctor check your prostate. I swear to you, I think it was like his hand, maybe his arm. Not comfortable, not comfortable. But um, you know, you do what you got to do to pay the rent. So I'm kidding. So I do want to right out of the gate mention my sponsors because I actually had ice cream today, and I did my Larry Scott Pro Gear. I'll go in the correct order. Larry Scott Pro Gear. Larry is awesome. Anything you need, it's not just drums, it's guitars, amps, PAs. Anything you need, he can get you. Sometimes I just think of like a snare drum, and he'll call me and say, "Hey, I just got you know, this broadcaster." And I say, "That's weird. I was thinking about that today." And then I wound up driving to Jersey, bringing All American Burger, and making out with his dog. He has a beautiful dog. And All American Burger, as I just mentioned, uh, you know, it's all American. It's awesome. Today I did not have that. Go Go Granny Racing, horse racing, and she's going to be a guest, I think. Either her or the trainer, because it's fascinating. It really is cool. And I do have a video of uh, the the broodmare giving birth, and it's a mixture of cool and really frightening. It's weird, but it's cool. And so I was at All American, but I went next door to Marshalls and I got my ice cream and chocolate vanilla cone swirled, rainbow sprinkles, and I proceeded to stand outside in front of the caddy and eat it uh, like I was making love to this cone. And as a callback, I did this at Carvel in Freeport, and there were four women sitting in a car. Uh, as I finished the cone, they gave me a round of applause. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to stand on the corner of Hicksville Road and Merrick Road and enjoy my cone. and and there were a couple of people sitting at the red light who I don't know if they took pictures or they recorded. I hope they recorded. I hope it's video. Um, because that cone was good. That cone was so delicious. And it was like I was making love with that ice cream. It was phenomenal. Um, and you got to do, I think part of it is that you got to do the little, uh, almost like it's not a canal. Maybe it is a canal along the edge of the cone. And this way, when stuff drips, it goes down into it. Um, so, but that's very labor intensive on the tongue. Uh, but it's all about enjoying the ice cream. And and these people at the red light, literally each time the light turned red, people would kind of watch and be like, most laughed, most laughed. A couple squirmed in their seats, which is always good. Uh, the seat squirming, so I'm doing something right. But that reminds me, the other night I was out at a bar. How are ya? I see a few names popping up. Cheers. Um, and I was out at a bar, and there was a beautiful woman. I would say she was probably maybe close to mid 60s. We start talking, and we just clicked. And I'm thinking, okay, she's older than me, but she's very open and very forward. So I said to her, I don't know what made me think of it. And she mentioned her daughter a couple of times. And I said, a lot of guys go for this like mother daughter thing. And I'm sure there's a name for it, this the dirty Sanchez, the Cleveland Steamer. So I'm sure this has a name. But and I should have looked it up during show prep. So I said to her, a lot of guys like the idea of a mother-daughter thing. And she said, "Are you interested in that? Because I can make it happen." And I was like, "Well, yeah, the night is young. Oh, the night is young." So she said, "Let's go back to my place." I was like, "Bartender, quick." We walk in her front door, and I said, "Is this really happening?" And she said, "Yes, it is." She yells upstairs, "Hey, mom, I have a surprise for you." And I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go." So, you know, I guess there are people that would appeal to, because people do all kinds of shit. So, all kinds of shit. When I was a medical educator, I covered St. Vincent's in the city, and um, what people put in their behinds is and if that's your thing, that's awesome for you. Great. Um, but if it requires you going to an emergency room to have, the Coke bottle taken out of your hiney or, there was on more than one occasion broken fluorescent bulbs. And, like it's a bulb. I don't like handling them with my hands because I'm worried I'll drop it, it'll break, I'll get a cut. But to do it with, in you know, ooh, ooh, I can't use single ply toilet paper, and people are putting, stuff in their hinds. Um, it's funny because I had a ton of stuff written out and a ton of notes, and then I see, like, the disco ball. Oh, I didn't turn on the disco balls behind me. And I'm like, "Oh my god." And then I'm just all over the place, all over the place. So, you know, I really did with Dr. Shapiro. I thought I was special. He does that to everyone, to everyone. Um, but so we have Passover coming up, and we have We have Easter coming up. Excuse my reach. This is in honor of Stan. I don't have him here with me tonight, but Stan loves paper towel. I'm not sure why. He loves it uh, for napkins, for tissues. He loves paper towel. Uh, so, and I had a lot of fun when Stan was on. I have a lot of fun with him. He's a good guy, and I'm going to give him a plug because if you need any mechanical work done, uh, by education, Stan is a dentist. I know that's odd, uh, but if you think about it, a dentist works with their hands and deals with minutia and the smallest of the small in people's mouths. And Stan is a master mechanic. Um, so if you need any work done, you can get in touch with him through me. I'm not going to give his number out on the podcast, uh, but you can call me, text me, message me, um, throw a rock through the window, and I will get in touch with Stan. And he's a great mechanic. Uh, I guess he's reasonably priced. Um, yeah, he's reasonably priced. He's a great mechanic. He does good work, and if you give him a cigar, it's like feeding a stray dog. You got him forever. So, so I was thinking back to Passover and Easter. Uh, they're not really intertwined, and it, it's hit or miss when they occur. But the uh, the prices on some of the Passover shit go through the roof because it's the week of Passover, and there are people who observe Passover and don't observe other holidays. Um, and I get it. You know, it's the beauty of I guess organized religion is you can kind of pick and choose what you do, but and if it makes you feel good, that's what matters. So with Passover, I read an article saying that it's like falls into the same category as Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur now, where people observe just those three holidays, really. You know, and Hanukkah. Everyone observes Hanukkah. Hanukkah, Christmas, Christmas, Hanukkah. But so I was in Stop and Shop on Merrick Road and Washington Avenue today. It's lovely. They the Passover aisle, they kind of like try to stretch what they consider Passover foods, I guess, to make the aisle like more appealing and make it fuller. But I couldn't help but notice that the marshmallow twists went up quite a bit in price. So I was wondering, you know, uh, if there are Easter uh, Easter things or Good Friday things that also have a crazy increase in price. And I would guess there are. Look what goes on with Christmas trees. The pricing gets crazy. Uh, so you know the it reminds me of a story. It reminds me of a story about a man who finds out that very religious Christian man. He goes to St. Agnes in Rockville Center, and he finds out that I'm going to reach over and just try and get that light a little brighter. He finds out that his son is converting to Judaism, and he's the kid grew up in a very religious Catholic family, so he says, you know what, I'm going to go talk to to the minister. I'm going to talk to the minister. And he went and he said, can I speak with you? I have a situation. My son is uh, going to be a practicing Jew. My son is going to be Jewish. And the minister said, I have a similar story to this. So I don't even know how to answer this, but I think that we should go right to the source. We should speak with God. and uh, they went into the sanctuary and they started speaking with God, and they said, God, we're both in a similar situation. We have a funny story, and uh, his son and my son uh, are Jewish now. And God said, I can relate. I have a funny story. So, so that's that situation. Um, but at this time of year, tolerance and just understanding and you know, we're just getting over St. Patrick's Day and it's already Passover for the people who are Irish. So that's tough. I'm going to use this whole roll. I hope there's not mold in this basement because my eyes go. I do have my eye drops here, but that would be weird. That would be very odd. Maybe I'm allergic to the happy hour with Seth. Um, the happy hour with Seth. So I found a video. I posted it on Facebook. It's on my YouTube channel, Seth Rock One. And starting this week, you're going to be able to watch previously aired happy hour episodes on my channel, or through my channel, or on my channel, or through my channel. But so Lynette, I mentioned this in the video that Lynette has been my friend forever, forever. And those who know me, it's one thing with my siblings because they're shit out of luck. They're stuck with me. They have to be, my siblings. They're my siblings. So, so with Lynette, like she chooses to be my friend and accepts me. And to everyone out there who's my friend, God bless you because that's the deal. So, so I was looking through my Facebook photos and I came across a few pictures of Lynette and myself. And they span, I think one of the pictures is like third grade. But they span a lot of time. Yep. Look at her in the pink and me in that yellow stylish shirt. Huh. And the funny thing is that I can name everyone in that picture, uh, and we all still like talk to each other, and it's cool. That's one of the great things about Facebook that allows that. But yeah, so this is one of the Southside class reunions. I can't tell you which one, but it was a blast seeing everyone. This was one night that the band was playing, and she came down. The band might have been playing at a place that she works at. In fact, it might have been at River House or one of those Freeport places, maybe the Helm. But but it was fun. A good time was had by all. So Lynette really was a huge factor in this because she kept saying, "You got to do a podcast. You got to do a podcast." And so I'm going to make a toast to her, mostly because I am so thirsty right now and my mouth is very dry. So you're going to hear that noise. It's a peach kind of night. That's Jim Beam peach behind me. And this is White Claw peach because it's a manly beverage. So I don't know if I should, I guess, just drink. So to old friends, to new friends, to good times, and to you know, kind of, I'm not going to say chasing the dream, but chasing the dream. Do what if there's something you want to do, you got to do it, and you don't know until you try. I'd rather say, "Oh, I tried and I fucked up," or "I gave it a shot, it didn't work," than say, "You know what? I should have done this. Shoulda, coulda, woulda." That's delicious for those who have never had a peach White Claw. So. So I'm sure I'm allowed to drink on a podcast. I haven't been told otherwise. Um, so in keeping with the being all over the place, uh, I looked on my T-Mobile bill at my usage, and my internet usage between like 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. is huge. And it's not what you'd think. Get your minds out of the gutter. It is because, oh, look, the disco ball coming out of my head. It is because of uh, Amazon. It is because of shopping. And I'm going to just grab a product over here because I saw an infomercial. Um, and I'm sure some of you have seen this. I'm sure some of you have bought it. Maybe no one's bought it. Excuse my reach, people. It's going to be terrible. Okay, so I have a little crepey skin, and I mentioned it earlier. I have a chin collection. So there was a thing about this crepey skin, and between my eyes and my nose, I really can't breathe. So the crepey skin, they said you could use this stuff. Oh my God, I'm falling apart. So they said you could use this stuff, and I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. Hold on. It is, I still can't see, because this is the size that you get for 25 or 30 bucks. This, it's like the size of a quarter, and it's maybe 6 or 8 quarters high. I think it's working, but how do you know? Because you use it up in like two shots. So then I saw a thing about these gummy things, and again, it's a touch out of my reach. Maybe not. Uh, so this is ash. Hold on, ashwaga, ashwagandha gummies. Ashwagandha. It's going to make my memory better, give me better sleep habits, and whatever other bullshit they try to convince you of. I've been taking it for like 2 weeks. They're delicious. Look at this. They're delicious. I could eat this whole bottle. They don't do a fucking thing. Um, they do. Uh, they do cost a lot of money for what they are, which is delicious candy gummies. But they don't. I'm not. Everything it says it'll do, it doesn't do. I don't know if I got a shitty brand, a shitty batch, but I don't know. I just don't know. So, uh, so that's the crazy like midnight shopping, and I'm curious if other people do it because when I went to Stony Brook, and I'm going back a long time, they used to pay someone. Domino's Pizza would pay someone to drive around campus with the Domino's light up sign on their roof, and you'd have people in the dorm rooms see it drive by the window, people like myself, and be like, wow, I think I want Domino's Pizza. Now, Station Pizza, which is still at Stony Brook, um, Station Pizza is much, much better. However, you'd see the Domino's car go by and be like, holy shit, I need Domino's Pizza right now. So, there's a reason why television costs more to advertise than radio, and it's because it's visual. So, these commercials come on during the night, and you'll see it for these gummies or for that crepey skin thing. Um, when you have it on the arm, I call that Hadassah arm. I don't know. I don't know what the real term is, but that crepey skin stuff. So that's like, huh, I if you don't know if it works, you're gonna try it longer and longer. That's like Keeps. Um, Jim Kelly, about 3 years ago, took a picture of me sitting at Gary's desk, and my head was down, and I had no hair here. Uh, and he sent me the picture, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's me with no hair." And, uh, then my Facebook feed was just filled uh, with advertisements for Keeps, and, it's like minoxidil foam and whatever the pill is, and so I signed up on Black Friday, I guess 2 years ago, and I don't know if it's helping. I mean, I have more hair now than I had then. I don't have, like, a giant fro like, uh like OJ at the beginning of The Naked Gun when he goes to walk through the door and he can't fit because of the giant afro. Um, and next week, we're actually gonna have some OJ tapes because of Vladimir Guerrero. Um, and it's some of you are laughing right now, and some are like, "What the hell is he talking about?" So, I'm sorry. Between my beak and my eyes, I'm a mess. Um, so, uh so, but I saw it and I'm like, "Ah, I'll give it a shot." Now I've had friends try it and they tell me it's a giant waste of money. It's a giant waste of money that they see no results. Uh, I think I see results. I don't get how, I'm rubbing this foam into my head and, like, how come my hands aren't getting hairy? Or, like, here, like, I'll scratch myself or I'll wipe my nose or I'll touch my eye, right after applying the foam, but I don't have hair, like, sprouting from my eye. Maybe I do. Maybe that's why my eyes and nose are running. That's the ice machine behind the bar. Um, it's my shopping habits are horrific. The other thing is that now Amazon offers, subscriptions. So, toilet paper, paper towels, peanut butter filled pretzels, paper plates, plastic cups, all of that gets delivered, and, like, they know how often I eat. Oh, my coffee, my morning coffee, donut shop coffee gets delivered, the boxes of the pods. So they know, like, how much coffee I drink, how often I shit, how many paper plates I use, and it's amazing to me that they track it. They are so accurate on all of that stuff, so accurate that it's a no-brainer. How do I not use their subscription stuff? That makes no sense to me. Um, but it's everything any way that these companies can figure out to make a buck. If it makes your life more convenient, then I don't know why you wouldn't do it, even if you pay a little more money for it, but it gives you the convenience. I think it's a no-brainer. Um, I think it makes total sense. So, I still can't get over how, like, I had never taken an Uber until maybe a year ago, and I don't know uh, how I lived without Uber. Like, it is just so convenient and usually so fucking cheap that why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? Um, but it's all I keep getting things from Carnival, about my upcoming cruise. And, "Oh, Seth, you're 50 days away. You should book blah, 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 and you should book your next cruise." I haven't been on my first cruise yet, so why would I book my next cruise? Um, you know, slow down, slow down. I'll give you an idea. The last time I took a cruise, I was living in Manhattan. I was living on Central Park West and 68th Street on the corner. Great building, great people. Um, I've talked about it before. Anton Fig was my next door neighbor. Paul Simon lived next door. What's his name from Saturday Night Live? Lorne Michaels. That show. Um, and Sting. Sting was very cool. Very nice guy. Billy Squire uh, had Rosie, a brindle boxer, and I had Simca, a brindle boxer, and they were sisters, the dogs, not me and Billy Squire. Um, so, uh, so I had a cruise coming up, and I was going to be gone 2 weeks, 2 week vacation. I was super excited. But I was also a guy who street parked, uh, or I'd put it in a garage for a night here and there. So, the fact that I was going to be gone for 2 weeks, uh, you know, it is what it is. But I was psyched for the vacation, and so the day before I left for the vacation, I went into EAB on 55th and 6th, and I said I'd like to speak with the manager. I would like to take out a loan, small loan. I took out a $5,000 loan, and they said, you got to leave some collateral. It was right. I had a beautiful Porsche. So I said, can I leave this Porsche? And the branch manager was like, you're leaving a $90,000 car for a $5,000 loan. I said, that's fine. That's fine. So they gave me the 5 grand, and they the branch manager excuses himself, and he puts the car downstairs under the building as a parking garage. It'll be safe. They put the car down there. I had such a great trip, such a great trip. Uh, and I was gone 2 weeks. I came home. I went right to the bank, and I said I would like to straighten out my loan. And he said, we did some looking. Uh, and did a little background check, and like you had at the time, you have money at the time. Uh, why would you take a $5,000 loan? And I said, can we just clear it up? And he said, sure, but the interest is only $15.41. Why would you take out a $5,000 loan? And I said, where else can I park a Porsche in a garage for 2 weeks for $15.41? It was a can't lose. So and now with the parking in the city, with those muni meters, oh, I won't put it in the garage. I'll use a muni meter. Well, it still winds up being 8, 10, $12 an hour. So you may as well put it in the garage and not have to worry. I have the convenience of having the Escalade, so there's there's an upcharge because it's a large vehicle, but you don't know what the upcharge is. So if you use one of the parking apps and you set it up beforehand, uh, the upcharge isn't included. And man, I've had it be $10 and I've had it be $20, and that's a huge difference when you're already prepaying for the parking and paying a fortune. It doesn't. It's crazy, but people live in the city. People love the city. Uh, and the point of this was that, according to my email today, my cruise is in 45 days, which means in 48 days, I'm broadcasting live from the Caribbean or the Caribbean, the Caribbean. I'm going Caribbean. Uh, um, I wonder if it is the Caribbean. It's the Gulf of Seth. We should push for that. What about making it the Gulf of Seth? I am. My eyes are slowly closing. I this is like allergies. Um, so, yeah, so the cruise leaves out of Miami. So I'm excited for that because one of my parents' friends from a million years ago owned all these hotels in South Beach, and one of which was in Scarface, and it is the one where it's the hotel where uh, Tony goes in with a couple of the guys. Uh, I don't remember. I All I remember is the woman says, he says, "What's your name?" And she says, "Marta," and he says, "Marta, nice to meet you, Marta." And then his friend, they go to cut his arm off with the chainsaw. Um, yeah. So meanwhile, Manolo is outside, like trying to pick up every girl that walks by, which it's South Beach. I feel like why wouldn't you be trying to pick up every girl that walks by? But so I love that area. I love that area. And growing up, we used to drive down to Florida every year. Um, we would all get into the station wagon, or it was usually the station wagon. Um, Best part was that the two back seats, if my cousin Stacy's watching, she can verify this. The two back seats faced out the back window, so that was like the give adults the finger seats. Um, for me and Stacy, I don't know if that's the norm. I'm going to say it is. So so the the trips down to Florida were always you stopping south of the border. Um, I drove down for Scoochie Pet a couple of times for the pet show down in Orlando, and I stopped at south of the border. I took pictures at south of the border. Uh, it's just I love the drive. I don't mind the drive at all. Um, obviously, it's a very cool drive. I've driven down in, like I said, in the back of a station wagon. I've driven down in a truck. I drove down with Bangers and Mash. I was in the equipment truck with Chad Hurth. That was fun. But I could have fun at motor vehicles, so I don't know. It's not like it's fun. It's more pleasurable in like a Mustang convertible. Um, but I am psyched for the cruise. I'm a little worried about, like the Poseidon Adventure, and I can't think of. I know there are other cruise disasters. Obviously, Titanic. Um, but the Titanic was a fluke thing, but Poseidon Adventure to me was more like, oh, because it's cool. They're trying to escape, um, and like I said, I'd be stuck behind Shelley Winters because ladies first, and then she'd get wedged in the fucking doorway, and I'd be like, oh my god, this fucking lady! I should have just went in front of her. I should have went in front of her. This is how I'm going to meet my maker. You know, it, so I think that if I was in that situation where we're trying to get out of a sinking ship, I wouldn't do the ladies first thing. I wouldn't do the ladies first. I wouldn't do women and children first. I'd be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm out. I'm out. And I guess in that situation, it's every man for himself. Um, with Titanic, listen, I love drums. I love my band. I love bands I've been in, bands I will be in. Um, I love it. I love, love, love music. But I'll tell you what, uh, no way, no way would I be on the deck just grooving out while the ship is sinking. I wouldn't do it. There's no way I'd do it. Um, it I wouldn't do it. Uh, there's a lot going on musically on the island of Long Island. There's a lot of original music, a lot of cover bands. Um, the annual event, the Paper Bag, Tuesday night, June 24th, I believe, is this is going to be my first year being a performer and not a spectator, although I'll still be a spectator, but I'll be spectating from the stage area. I've been going with my brother Ira to this for years and years and years. For a while, I went with the girl I was seeing. For a while, I went with just a bunch of girls who were friends, like a girls' night out, and me. And I went with bandmates, but usually with my brother, and it's a great time. It's a great time. It's a 70-piece rock band for those of you who don't know. Um, and it is a long show. I suggest that you take Wednesday off from work because you're going to wish you had. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of great musicians, and just a great time. It is at Mulcahy's in Wantaw, um, and again, it's packed. You're going to see everyone, all your Facebook friends, you'll see like people. Oh, I know that guy through LinkedIn. He's an investment banker, and he'll be in like a tie-dyed shirt, grooving out. And there's a theme, and every year there's a theme, and the music all has to do with that theme. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what the theme is, um, but I do need a name for the back of my shirt. So if anyone has anything clever that they want to share with me, I'd appreciate it. I have some ideas of what I want, uh, but I don't know if they're too off color. And I don't want people's my first bag. I don't want people to be like, "Wow, this guy's a douche." So let them do that after they get to know me. So it's it's just it. When I looked at the song list, I was like, "Wow, this is great," because it spans all kinds of genres. Um, but it's like I said, if you've never been, definitely go. If you need tickets, hit me up because I have tickets. Um, and it's just a great time. And it's not, there's a lot of like tribute bands on the island. Uh, Decade bands are huge. I was in a band, Weird Science, the ultimate 80s experience. It was great. It was great. The kid John Katz, the kid. Everyone, if you're under 70, in my eyes, you're the kid. But the kid John Katz is great. Great band. Great band. And my favorite thing is that he's a keyboard player, but he uses that keytar thing. So I think that's really cool. Uh, and Jesse's Girl is an 80s band. There's that 90s band. There's that 70s band. Just a lot of stuff, a lot of good bands. I'm going to be actually playing, obviously, with the Gypsy Felons. We have a bunch of stuff coming up. Check us out on Facebook. I'm going to be playing with the band Level 80. It started out as a fill-in gig, and now I'm doing a bunch of stuff with them. Very, very good band. Shout out to Steve Sorrow from I'm going to give his old name of the band. I can't think of what the band, not Sound Chaser. Uh, oh my God, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. But Steve made the hookup for me. It's his old singer, Matt. So, I'm very happy to be playing with these guys. A lot of fun. Uh, Different from what I do with the Gypsy Fellas. Obviously, different from what Bangers and Mash does, and so it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Um, Last week I had mentioned drummer jokes. This week I had a whole bunch of jokes about musicians, and the paper bag does something called the body bag, and it's musicians that died during the year, like since the last paper bag. So the the I don't know why it kept popping in my head today, but Kurt Cobain, and I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I probably shouldn't end it on this note. Let me just take a quick look here. Oh, no, I have a few minutes. Okay. Very few minutes. I realize we got a late start. So you know what? I'm going to save these jokes for next week. I'm going to save these jokes for next week. I don't want to keep the guys in the studio all night. Um, Next week, we are going to with, um, start out with the Kurt Cobain, jokes. It's not funny. I'm going to get all kinds of emails now saying how that's not funny. But we'll be able to discuss the Satyrs, Easter. So next week, oh, and next week we have live in Club 4006, we have the Gypsy Felons. So, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be sitting on that side of the room where the stage is and all the instruments are. And we'll talk to Chris because Chris does a couple of different musical things. There's an acoustic version of the Gypsy Felons, which is very cool. And and it should be a lot of fun. We're going to play a couple of new songs, a lot of talking to Chris, and I think we're going to be mentioning might be remotely with another band, very well known drummer who hails from Long Island. So, with that said, thank you all for joining me tonight for the happy hour. Thank you for accepting the fact that we started out late because of my technological glitches and get psyched for some really fucked up jokes to start next week's show. Thank you guys so much. Again, don't forget Larry Scott, Go Go Grandma Racing, um, Marshalls, and All American Burger. Guys, don't forget, same Seth time, same Seth channel. See you guys Wednesday night for the happy hour with Seth.